Introverts have a unique set of personality traits and behaviors. Understanding the characteristics of introversion can help people identify and embrace their introverted nature. Here are 10 signs that you are an introvert person. You prefer solo activities. You enjoy your own company more than participating in activities with others. More introverted people value solitude and quiet time more than constantly being around others. You may prefer spending your time alone doing things like reading, writing, playing video games, going on solo hikes, or making crafts to going to crowded events, team sports, or parties. Introverts report higher levels of contentment and vitality when they spend time in their inner world of thoughts and feelings rather than constantly being stimulated by the outside world. Time alone recharges you. It would help if you had some time to yourself to refuel. After participating in busy social situations, introverts frequently require time to regain focus and energy. For introverts, spending time interacting with others, even when they find it enjoyable, can feel draining or overstimulating. The stimulation causes a more significant dopamine release in introverts' brains than in extroverts. Introverts require calm and solitude to restore the balance of dopamine in their bodies. Introverts can better process stimuli and rebuild the cognitive resources necessary for further social engagement if they read, reflect, or engage in other calming activities. You think before you speak. You put some thought into what you say. Introverts typically communicate in a very thoughtful and considerate way toward others. They are more likely to listen, internally process the information, and give careful consideration before speaking. More introverted people aren't just talking to fill the void or blur things out. They are more interested in meaningful conversations in serene settings and do not feel the need to express their thoughts aloud constantly. Introverts are at ease with silence, in contrast to extroverts who may experience feelings of compulsion to talk regardless of whether or not it is required. You don't like being in the spotlight. When everyone is looking at you, you feel uncomfortable. In general, introverts are not interested in the limelight or seeking attention. They become painful and exhausted when in large groups or the spotlight of something. Introverts prefer to keep their thoughts and emotions to themselves instead of expressing every one of them to others. They do not have the same desire as extroverts to be the center of attention or to put on a performance. More introverted people typically avoid the spotlight rather than seeking it out. You only have a few close friends. You keep to yourself and a select group of close friends. More introverted people tend to have fewer close and long-term friendships than more extensive social networks. Instead, they would strengthen their existing relationships rather than make many superficial acquaintances. Only when around people they know they can trust do introverts feel safe enough to be themselves and express their true personalities. For introverts, engaging in idle chit-chat with total strangers can feel like a waste of time or cause feelings of anxiety. However, they are most comfortable opening up in more personal settings with longtime friends. You don't reveal personal info quickly. It would be best if you were quicker to reveal private information. More introverted people tend to be guarded about disclosing personal information until they have developed a strong rapport with another person. They do not find it easy to open up to new people and do not enjoy idle conversations with strangers. Introverts typically have a rich inner world filled with profound thoughts and emotions that they prefer to keep to themselves. They carefully consider the details of what they will reveal and to whom they will do so. When they feel like they can trust someone enough, introverts can have lengthy, in-depth conversations with that person about their ideas, beliefs, and experiences. As we reach the middle of our video, I invite you to join our community by subscribing to our channel. By subscribing, we'll let you know about our future episodes in which we'll talk about other unique places, animals, and other things you'll want to explore. Public places drain you. After being in public, you experience a feeling of exhaustion. Introverts can become completely worn out after engaging in social interaction and stimulation for an extended period. They enjoy interacting with a single person or a small group for brief periods, but being in an environment with many people and noise is overwhelming. Recharging requires solitude and activities that don't involve interacting with others for introverts. If they don't, they risk being overstimulated and losing the ability to interact pleasantly with others. After spending time in busy public settings, introverts seek locations with lower activity levels. You take a moment before going into a noisy room. You take a moment to compose yourself before entering loud rooms. More introverted people are more likely to think twice about attending events where there will be many people, loud music, numerous activities, and a general uproar. They mentally prepare themselves to deal with the overwhelming amount of stimulation. Introverts tend to observe their surroundings from a distance rather than plunge headfirst into social situations. They might wait a while outside, ease their way in slowly, or look for a more secluded area. Introverts are more likely to experience sensory overload when exposed to sudden loud noises and chaotic crowds. When given the opportunity, introverts prefer to be in quiet settings. You prefer to avoid being constantly on the move. You do not take pleasure in constantly having to rush around. Introverts typically prefer a more leisurely, relaxed pace that includes built-in time for reflection. They find extroverts' high energy levels and busy schedules exhausting and unpleasant. Reading, hobbies, and daydreaming are all activities that are better suited to introverts than being forced to switch quickly between social and training commitments. Introverts can thrive when given opportunities for quiet introspection and adequate space between social interactions. Introverts' cognitive functions benefit from having time to recharge when they are exposed to less stimulation and a more leisurely pace. You're happiest when things are calm. You experience the most joy when you are in serene environments. Introverts can recharge their batteries and enjoy solitude, peace, and quiet. Introverts are most productive in settings with low noise and activity levels, such as a calm home, library, nature trail, or cafe. They can find joy in their everyday lives without resorting to extravagant celebrations, crowded concerts, or vacations filled with other people. Introverts find more fulfillment in quiet, solitary pursuits and peaceful environments than in lively, social situations. Introverts find the most happiness in settings that cater to their need for concentration on their thoughts, opportunities to pursue creative interests, and relaxation. Conversations involve more listening than talking. During conversations, you tend to listen more than you speak. Introverts tend to listen attentively and only participate in discussions when they have something significant to contribute. They don't try to dominate the conversation or interrupt other people. Introverts need time to mull over their thoughts in private before they will verbalize their conclusions. They do not take pleasure in argumentative exchanges or heated discussions. Introverts feel more at ease taking part in quiet, in-depth conversations where they can openly express their thoughts and receive feedback from others. Your reserve makes you hard to get to know. You give the impression of being private and difficult to get to know. When around people they don't know very well, introverts frequently give the impression of being reserved and quiet until they feel comfortable enough to open up. In contrast to gregarious extroverts, they don't immediately express the entirety of their personalities. Introverts are picky about the people they initially devote their time and energy to getting to know because they value solitude. However, once introverts feel safe with others, they can get past their initial shyness and speak up. Introverts excel at having in-depth, meaningful conversations with the people in their inner circle. However, the initial reserve protects the limited social bandwidth of introverts. Recognizing these common introvert qualities allows people to understand their personalities better. Embracing one's introversion can lead to confidence, happiness, and appreciation for the strengths that come with this personality type. And that's all for today. Make sure to hit subscribe to stay connected. Ciao, and see you tomorrow.